America's top cybersecurity expert on network television, CEO of Matrix Force, and #1 best-selling author of Streamlining Technology, Mr. Kevin Fream.
The cloud. Nobody knows when it started. Some people think it was in the 80s with Matthew Broderick and the movie War Games. Or maybe it was Arnold Schwarzenegger and the Terminator. But for me, it was 2008. I never felt so helpless. Now, Oklahoma can be a lot like George R.R. Martin's Fire and Ice. We just don't have the dragons or the ice walkers. That spring, it was already in the hundreds. Clients were calling me up going, servers are going down. I'm having to run out and get a fan from Lowe's and keep the door open. How do we get away from this? At the same time, venture capitalists came to me and said, Kevin, you need to build a data center, son. You're going to be a millionaire. You've been to Redmond with your team over the last 20 years for Windows and Exchange. You got this covered. I want to be a millionaire so freaking bad. Buy all the things I never had. It's fun to think about. Really fun. But it seemed like a non-starter because you were always behind. You're not the manufacturer, so you had to play catch-up. And besides, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, they were all investing billions all over the world in data centers. You couldn't get that much venture capital. And when I went to ask customers about it, they said, Kevin, that's great. That's a great idea. But where are the 3 other data centers that you're going to have to replicate my data? And do you have staff for 724 for all of them too? Well, I didn't have an answer for that. And I knew the local data centers didn't have an answer for that either because their response would be, well, hey, just buy some office space here. Move your offices here and you'll have to worry about it. So I said, let's ponder this for a little bit. And then the weathermen started with their monster truck voices. Winter is coming. Winter is coming. And when it came, it was really, really bad. It was the worst ice storm in 50 years. The whole state of Oklahoma was covered in 2 inches of ice. Almost 2 million Sooners were without power for 3 weeks. Dozens of people died. Out of hundreds of clients, I only had a couple that had generators. Here I was, this big-time cyberist, supposed to protect them, and business was halted. No electricity, no business. I was crushed. Even my own office, which I was really smart. I said, hey, we're going to be in the old location of Sabre American Airlines, the most hardened grid in the city. But we didn't have power. There was a water main break at the corner. In my despair, I decided to just drive around town. What was the wife's SUV for anyway? I don't know how I got there, but I ended up downtown, and I saw one of these data centers, and it was a ghost town. And when I came to find out and figure out that no employer could stomach to send their staff and risk their lives and be away from their families during this type of disaster, I also noticed that there wasn't very much staff there. So those data centers couldn't really even handle new customers, and I knew that for a fact because I had many of my clients call them and ask, and they just couldn't do it. So I decided this isn't right. And after all these years of doing email and servers, I said, this cloud thing is going to be something. And I started researching what is a precursor to today's Office 365. And I did a justification for 5 and 10 years, and it was a 40% savings. And nobody had 2,000 people in cybersecurity playing offense to protect you. So I moved all my clients that were willing to the cloud, and the ones that would, I moved their files to. And you would know it because 2009 was almost a spitting mirror image of 2008 with blasting heat and ice apocalypse. But this time, we are ready. All you could do is just go to Starbucks and sip your latte while you're on the internet. My customers were helping their customers, and anybody else that wanted to sign up for the service, they could do that too. We could get them on email immediately, and we get their data later. So that's my lesson for the cloud. It should be a lot less. It's a lot more secure, and you should get to the cloud.
All right.